Last episode, that was it for my GM mode. This is the ultimate recap. We're looking at all the wrestlers that we had throughout 4 seasons. And then at the end, we will see who is the 10 greatest wrestlers in the Beetlejuice My GM mode of WWE 2K23. And then we usually do this at the end, but we're doing it at the beginning, so we have an updated thing, no mistakes or anything like that. The Slapnuts MVPs from last episode, and the male Slapnuts MVP is. It is John Cena, the cover athlete. Yet again, I did not think this would happen. I thought Cody would win it, but Cena did not lose at all last episode. He wins yet another MVP. Can't be stopped.
Boobies.
As for the female Slapnuts MVP, it is Alexa Bliss. We got her last season towards the end. This season, she's been doing really well. Last episode, she did super well. She's won a couple of titles last episode, and she's now won an MVP.
Perfection.
Alright, now that we've seen who were the MVPs from last episode, all the stats are complete, all been added up. 4 seasons, all the wrestlers we've had. You're about to see all their stats, their accomplishments, and then see who were the best throughout the entire Beetlejuice My Jam series. We start off looking at our final Universal Champion, Cody Rhodes, with a 21-27 record throughout 3 seasons. We only didn't have him for one. 2-time Universal Champion. This is the first time we get to see him in the review holding the title. 3-time Intercontinental Champion, 1-time Tag Team Champion, and he just could not finish the story and win that MVP. John Cena robbed it from him. Our final Women's Champion, Gigi, we had her for 2 seasons. 15-17 record, 2-time Women's Champion, all done in the last season. 1-time Tag Team Champion. She did not get the Triple Crown. She could not win MVP. Our final Intercontinental Champion, Finn Balor. We had him for 2 seasons. 9-9 record, 1-time Intercontinental Champion, 1-time Tag Team Champion, 1-time MVP. He just never got that Universal Championship to win it all. One half of our final Tag Team Champions, The Miz. We had him for 4 seasons. We drafted him every single season except for season 4, but we added him through free agency, so he gets the full set. 13-33 record, 1-time Intercontinental Champion, 2-time Tag Champ. The Miz did not have the best GM experience. Then we have the other half of our Tag Team Champions, Jake the Snake Roberts. We only had him for 1 season. He had a 3-5 record, 1-time Tag Team Champion. One half of our final Women's Tag Team Champions, Bayley, with a 22-21 record. We had her for 3 seasons. 5-time Women's Champion. I think that's the most anyone's won. 1-time Tag Team Champion, 3-time MVP. And the other half for our Women's Tag Team Champion, Mommy Rhea Ripley. We had her for 2 seasons, 11-17 record, 2-time Women's Tag Team Champion, 1-time MVP. She was never able to win the women's title. She could have possibly won it at WrestleMania if Gigi didn't get injured. We have John Cena, who we had throughout the entire series, drafted him every single time, all 4 seasons. 38-26 record, almost 40 wins is insane. 4-time Universal Champion, 3-time Intercontinental Champion, 4-time Tag Team Champion, and the record-breaking 7-time MVP. Then we have Alexa Bliss, who we only had for 2 seasons, 10-6 record, 4-time Women's Champion, 1-time MVP. Then we have Charlotte Flair, who we only had for 1 season, 8-6 record, 1-time Women's Champion, 1-time Tag Team Champion, 2-time MVP. She did it all. Then we have the created wrestler, Ali Brawler, who I guess is enhancement talent in this game. We only had her for like half a season, still won, but like we picked her up to halfway. 6-2 record, 1-time Women's Champion, 2-time MVP. Then we have Stone Cold, who we had for 3 seasons. 17-16 record, 1-time Universal Champion, 1-time Tag Team Champion, 1-time MVP. He needed just 1 Intercontinental title to do it all. Then we have the phenomenal AJ Styles, who we only had for 1 season, 7-5 record, 1-time Universal Champion, 1-time Intercontinental Champion, 1-time MVP. Just needed a tag title to do it all. Then we had Elias, who we had for 2 seasons, 14-13 record, 1-time Intercontinental Champion, one of the best Intercontinental reigns we had in GM mode, 1-time Tag Team Champion. He was a double champ at a time, 1-time MVP. He just needed the Universal title to make WWE stand for Walk with Elias. Then we had Drew McIntyre, who we only had for one season, 8-6 record, one-time Intercontinental Champion, one-time Tag Team Champion. Then we had Asuka, who we had for 3 seasons. We brought her back in season 4, like The Miz, to try to get her some titles. Did not work. We just heard her record, in honesty. 16-15 record, 2-time Women's Tag Team Champion. We have Seth freaking Rollins, who we had for 3 seasons, 21-21 record, 3-time Universal Champion, 3-time Intercontinental Champion, 2-time Tag Team Champion, and 1-time MVP. We have Nikita Lyons, who we had for 2 seasons, 12-12 record, 1-time Women's Champion, 1-time Tag Team Champion, 2-time MVP. We have Roddy Piper, 2 seasons with us, 5-5 record, 2-time Universal Champion. We have LA Knight, who we had for 3 seasons, with a 15-22 record, 2-time Universal Champion, 1-time Intercontinental Champion, 3-time Tag Team Champion, and a 2-time MVP. Then we have Lita, who we also have for 3 seasons, 17-20 record, 2-time Women's Champion, 1-time Tag Team Champion, 2-time MVP. We have the glorious one, Robert Roode, who we had for the entire series, 4 seasons, 24-31 record, 2-time Universal Champion, 3-time Intercontinental Champion, 3-time Tag Team Champion, and 1-time MVP. We have Raquel Rodriguez, who we had for 2 seasons, 9-13 record. She really went off the final season we had her. 1-time Women's Champion, 1-time Tag Team Champion, 2-time MVP. We have Bret the Hitman Hart, who we had for 3 seasons, 14-16 record, 2-time Universal Champion, 1-time Tag Team Champion, 1-time MVP. He just needed the Intercontinental Championship and he couldn't beat Elias for it. We have Logan Paul, who was only here for 2 seasons, 11-17 record, 3-time Universal Champion, 1-time MVP. We have Randy Orton, who we had for 2 seasons, 9-21 record, 1 Universal Championship, 1 Intercontinental Championship, 1 Tag Team Championship, 1 MVP. We have our Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, who we only had for 2 seasons, 7-15 record, 2-time Universal Champion, 1-time Intercontinental Champion, 1-time MVP. He was not able to win that tag team title, so I can't acknowledge him.
Acknowledge me.
We had Zelina Vega, who we had for 1 season, 7-10 record. She went on one hell of a run towards the end of that season. 1-time Women's Champion, 1-time Tag Team Champion, 1-time MVP. We have Stacy Keibler, who we had for 2 seasons, and I had to update her entire record because the last time we saw her, I messed up. She had 3 less losses than she's supposed to have. Because the first time we ended off with her, she had a 2-10 record, and then when we got her back, I subtracted 3 losses for some reason, gave her 2-7. So I added the 3 losses back. 7-15 record, 2-time Women's Champion, 1-time MVP. We have Trish Stratus, who we had for 2 seasons with 11-22 record, 1-time Women's Champion, 1-time Tag Team Champion, 1-time MVP. We have The Undertaker, who we had for 3 seasons with a 14-15 record, 1-time Intercontinental Champion, 2-time Tag Team Champion, 1-time MVP. He just needed the Universal title. He just couldn't do it. We have Hollywood Hulk Hogan, who we had for 1 season with a 5-11 record, 1-time Universal Champion, 1-time Tag Team Champion, 1-time MVP. Wanted to bring him back, but they just never had him in the free agency thing. I think it glitched. We have Tyler Bate, who we had for 1 season with a 5-12 record, 2-time Universal Champion, 1-time MVP. We have the Rated R Superstar Edge, who we had for 1 season with a 5-6 record, 1-time Universal Champion, 1-time MVP. We have Lacey Evans, who we had for 2 seasons, who had a 7-9 record, 2-time Tag Team Champion, 1-time MVP. We have Natalya, who we had for 1 season with a 7-12 record, 1-time Tag Team Champion, 1-time MVP. She just never had the chance to win that women's title. We have the Celtic Warrior Sheamus, who we had for 2 seasons with a 9-14 record, 1-time Intercontinental Champion, 1-time Tag Team Champion. We have Main Event Jey Uso, who we had for 1 season with a 4-11 record, 1-time Intercontinental Champion, 1-time Tag Team Champion. We have Bianca Belair, who we had for 2 seasons with a 7-12 record, 1-time Women's Champion. We have Shinsuke Nakamura, who we had for 2 seasons with a 5-11 record, 1-time Intercontinental Champion. We have the whole freaking show RVD, who we had for 1 season with a 4-10 record, 1-time Tag Team Champion. Shayna Baszler, who we had for 1 season with a 5-10 record, 1-time MVP. Nikki Bella, who we had for 2 seasons with a 2-16 record, 1-time Tag Team Champion. Dakota Kai, who we had for 2 seasons with a 9-16 record. We have Macho Man Randy Savage, who we had for 1 season with a 4-10 record. Then we have Brock Lesnar, who we had for 1 season with a 2-7 record. Here we are, we're finally here to figure out who are the top 10 greatest wrestlers in this Beetlejuice My GM mode series, or the Hall of Fame as you could say. These 10, I looked at all their stats, their accomplishments, their winning percentage, and I put it all together and put them in order of 10 to 1. You could argue either case for these 10, but there's some wrestlers you could argue in the top 10, but that's the whole thing of a top 10. But let's get straight into number 10. At number 10, we have the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. I mean, we had him for 3 seasons, so he had the advantage there. But when you look at all the accomplishments he won, multiple titles, the only thing that made him go so low is the fact he never won an MVP. And I'm taking that into consideration. At one point, the MVPs were the best wrestler in that episode. Cody was never the best wrestler, and he had a 44 win percentage. But when you look at all the accomplishments, the total of wins, the matches, obviously the wrestlers who were here longer are going to have a bigger chance of being on this list. But Cody Rhodes at number 10. At number 9, we have Allie Brawler. She was an enhancement talent wrestler created by 2K, the first ever enhancement talent wrestler we've ever picked up, and the only one. But when you look at what she did in that one season we had, it might have even been half a season. Who knows what she could have done with more of a season. Maybe she has a worse record, maybe she has better. But what she did do was become women's champion. She did not lose the title. Two-time MVP. She had the highest win percentage of any wrestler with a 75% win percentage. And who knows what she could have done if she had more time. She deserves to at least be in the top 10. Charlotte Flair at number 8. This one was a tough one for me. I had Charlotte Flair originally at 10. Then I put her at 10, jumped Cody. Then I had her at 8, jumping Allie Brawler. Because when you look at it, Charlotte Flair just did so well in one season. She had a full season compared to Allie Brawler. So when you look at that, a full season, a half a season is more impressive. Can't penalize them for the amount of time they had. Just got to look at what they did in that time. And while Allie Brawler had the highest, Charlotte had the second highest win percentage with a 64. So when you look at that, that's pretty impressive, especially since more time, which we just said we won't penalize. Who knows? Like I said, if Charlotte had more matches, Allie Brawler had more matches, that win percentage may have went down. But Charlotte Flair, 2 MVPs, 1 women's title, just like Allie Brawler. But she had 1 women's tag title. This was all just like a gut feeling. Maybe if I look at it, I would say Charlotte should go at 9. But you know what? The MVPs make her over Cody. I'm giving the win percentage, even though it's lower than Allie Brawler, and that 1 women's tag title, putting her at 8. At number 7, we have Robert Roode, and like Cody Rhodes, they both had a 44% win percentage. But you know what? Robert Roode was here for all 4 seasons. Maybe if Cody had that extra season, he could have won more accomplishments, but that's irrelevant. Robert Roode was here. We have to look at what he did. He's won multiple titles. The 1 MVP is what makes him better than Cody. Just got to do it. The 1 MVP. He may have hit 31 losses, but he also hit 20 plus wins. He did so much. He had a unfair advantage because he was here longer, but you know what? He did that. He could have been like The Miz. He could have lost a lot and won not much, but he didn't because he's glorious. At number 6, we have Lita, who had a 46% win percentage. She did so much. 3 seasons for us. Can't penalize her for the men having an extra title. Had she had an opportunity to win an extra title, maybe she wins more titles. So you can't penalize her against Robert Roode and Cody Rhodes. But she has more MVPs than Cody, than Robert Roode. In terms of like women, what they could win to the men, she's won a lot. 2 women's titles, 1 tag title. She did everything she could. Almost 20 wins. Lita was really good. We have LA Knight at number 5. Yeah, it's his game. That's why he's at number 5. He's in the top 5. You look at it, he has around the same amount of accomplishments championship-wise as Cody Rhodes, but 2 MVPs. So that right there puts him over Cody Rhodes. Look at Robert Roode. Less titles, but you know what? He has 1 more MVP, 1 less season. I know we shouldn't consider the seasons, but in less seasons, he won 2 MVPs. And I think that makes it better than Robert Roode with 4 seasons on his total. LA Knight has less wins. We can't say what if he had another season. He probably would have won more titles if he had one more season. But we're going to ignore that. We're just going to focus on the MVPs. He had 2 MVPs compared to Robert Roode's 1. That's why he's over Roode, and he's number 5. Yeah.
It's LA Knight's game. Yeah.
At number 4, we have the goddess, Alexa Bliss. When you look at it, she had one of the best performances by any of the women wrestlers. 4 women's titles, which is the second highest of any wrestler. The MVP skyrocketed her up to number 4. Had she not got that MVP, she would have maybe been 10, maybe higher than Cody. Don't know. The MVP boosts her up there. She had a winning percentage of 63%, which was right behind Allie Brawler, right behind Charlotte. But her feats and accomplishments are way better than Charlotte's and Allie Brawler's. And so, Alexa Bliss at number 4. 4 women's titles, 1 MVP, 10 wins. It's just impressive. At number 3, we have Seth freaking Rollins. He's at a 50% win percentage, 21-21. But you know what? You look at all his accomplishments, all the titles. He's won more titles than LA Knight, Robert Roode, and Cody Rhodes combined. Plus, he has the 2 MVPs. So that right there, I think he had the same amount of seasons as LA Knight too, if I'm correct. So, boom, MVPs, same as LA Knight, more titles, no question. Seth Rollins at number 3. At number 2, we have Bayley, who had the best performance by any of the women we've had. I don't think we had any women that was there for every single season, so I think 3 is the highest for any women's wrestler. Bayley here for 3 seasons, and what she did in that time, most women's titles with 5. She has a tag title reign. The most MVPs by any women's wrestler with 3. Bayley had the best all-around performance by any of the women. And not only that, she had a solid 52 win percentage. So when you compare Bayley to the rest of the women, she just skyrockets them. And I think she skyrockets most of the men, except for number 1. At number 1, of course, it's John Cena. Who else would it be? He had a 59 win percentage, but that's irrelevant because when you look at it, we had him for 4 seasons, and within those 4 seasons, he set records. The only wrestler with 30 plus wins, 2 away from 40, which would have been insane. He had the most Universal title reigns with 4, tied for the most Intercontinental title reigns with 3, most tag title reigns with 4, most MVPs of any wrestler with 7. Even when I wanted him to take a back seat, he was still winning. He was still dominating. He just would not lose. He just kept on winning feud after feud. He kept on getting MVP after MVP. He was winning fatal 4-ways to win titles when he was just supposed to be continuing his feuds. He would not stop, and that is why he is the GOAT, John Cena. Hope you all enjoyed. This is the end of the Beetlejuice My GM series for 2K23. See you next time.